Again, there's questions or comments or anything about the business plan as we go through the pages, please let me know and or raise your hand. I realized I wasn't recording, so we are now officially recording. So good. I'm glad I didn't do the whole class without missing it. And so all right. So page one of your business plan and personal growth workbook. So up at the top, you'll write your name, you'll write your brokerage, you'll write today's date, and then you'll start to kind of fill out on your end your first section one. So in your section, you're going to kind of write in order to know where we're going, we need to know where we're starting from, right? So where you're starting from is what did you do in 2025? And so in 2025, I want you to kind of fill in these little blanks here. How many transactions that you closed, what the total volume, and if you don't have exact numbers for these items, that's fine. You can put your best guesstimates of what you've done and what you've been practicing for the year of 2025. At the bottom, the 1.2, there's a few sentences for you to write what has worked well for you in 2025. And then there's another what didn't work well or needs improvement. And so that answer is on the second page, which we'll get to here in a moment. I'm going to go ahead and just take a few moments, give you guys about a minute and a half or so to fill out your worksheets on your end and start kind of planning what did I do in 2025 and where am I starting from. All right. All right. If you have finished your page, if you want to type done in the chat or raise your hand and just let me know that you are done. That'd be perfect. I'm going to give it about 15 more seconds or so. All right. And so I literally filled out this plan as well too. So on the next page, I'm going to kind of share a little bit of what my personal production was and what I did for 2025. And so I'm going to switch to the next page. All right, that's me. And so in the year 2025, I personally did 23 deals. I had a total volume of a little over $5 million for the year. My gross commission for the 22 transactions was around 145,000. My sales price average is around 260,000. So I cover a large area as far as Riverside, San Diego, San Bernardino counties, and I sell all different types of property. From I think I did $1 or $2 million deals this year, but I also did 4 $10,000 land deals this year. And so it's a big range of what type of properties I've done this year. So this particular year, I've closed 11 listings. I've closed 12 buyer transactions. What worked well for me in 2025 was using my CRM, client relations management system. I live and breathe by it. If you've taken my classes before or any of my trainings, I'm a big CRM type person. I've stayed consistent on my lead calls. I've done consistent open houses. I've been following up with my referrals, and I've been relationship building all year long. And so I think all those things kind of worked well for me in 2025. I'm hoping to take a lot of that into 2026 as I kind of expand and do better. And so hopefully, I know these numbers could vary for everybody. Again, if you've done 1 or 2, it's all right. We're going to do 5 or 6 this year, or maybe 8 or 9. Just know we're going to continue to build off what we've been doing and how we're going to grow there, right? And so. All right, page 2. So we're going to finish off the what needs improvement in 2025 up there at the top. uh, fill in the one key lesson you learned in 2025, and then we're going to get into a little bit of your personal goals and life design of what you would like to have happen in 2026. So personal focus area for 2026, fill in their boxes, describe what your ideal day or week looks like, and then we'll get into personal goals 2.3 on the next page as well. So I'll give you guys about 30 seconds to a minute to fill those out. I'm filling out on my end as well too. Awesome. All right. And even if you haven't finished all your pages, you can keep writing even as I'm chatting. I'm going to kind of switch on to the next page of what I've personally done. So this year, and so I did not fill in the one thing that I need to improve on, and so I have it here on my end what I want to improve on. And so my biggest thing I would like to improve on is education. So in 2025, I did not do as many education classes as far as me taking them myself personally. So that's one of the things that I'm hoping to improve on. I'd like to expand my education things. I've been just learning as I go throughout the year about whatever topic I needed to cover, but actual classes or education type things I have not taken as many. So that was one part that I needed to fill in there. My one key lesson for 2025 would be consistency is key. And so, one thing that I strive to do and be at is just consistent in everything that I do. Consistently, replying to emails as quickly as possible, consistently answering my phone as much as possible, consistently being there for family, friends, clients, whatever else it may be. So, consistency is key, was my biggest takeaway in 2025 in order to continue to expand. As far as personal focus areas on my personal side, so switching from business to personal, check all that apply, things that I would like to improve on or focus on: health and fitness, mental, family, time freedom, financial responsibility, hobbies, personal development. I checked them all. I want to focus on all those areas all the time. Now, of course, it's you don't want to spread yourself too thin on anything, but I am trying to set a realistic expectation, and these are all things that I'm going to continue to focus and hopefully be better at this year. Um, what do I want my life to look like at the end of 2026? And so, for those who don't know, I have two kids. I'm heavily involved in my kids' life, and they play sports, and so I would like to continue to help them coaching throughout their sports and life journeys. I would like to continue to grow my various companies, and I would like to set up a few more things as far as automation within my systems in order to free up my personal life a little bit more, in order for me to go to the gym a little bit more, in order for me to build relationships a little more. And so I've realized technology is our friend, and the more things I can set up for automation, those are the things that I would like to have incorporated into my life by the end of 2026. And so um, hopefully, does anybody want to share what they would like their life to look like at the end of 2026? Yeah. Oh, it's all right. Don't be shy. Don't worry. There's going to be tougher questions coming as well too. And so, personal goals for 2026. All right. So, and it says, be specific and measurable. So again, these are personal goals at the top here, personal focus areas of what you would like to have done for health, family relationships, time travel, boundaries and balance. What boundaries must you set in 2026 to protect your personal goals? Work hours, weekends, client communication and expectations. And then we get into a little bit on the vision and business direction. Why does 2026 matter to you? And so I'll give you a minute or two to go ahead and fill those out. And remember, be specific. These are all for you personally of what your goals are and what you're trying to specifically do to make yourself better for 2026. So, all right. I'm going to switch over. And if you guys are still filling it out, continue to do so. As far as health for me, I would like to lose 30 pounds. That's what I think is a realistic goal for me. So wherever I'm at now, minus 30. That's the goal. And we'll find out if I hit it near the end of the year. As far as family relationships, I would family slash relationships. My goal for 2026 is to reach out to three of my family members I didn't see or speak to in 2025. I have a huge family, of so many cousins, families back in the Midwest in Wisconsin, and family here in California and Southern California. So it's really tough for me to necessarily see or speak to everybody. Of course, with Facebook and Instagram, we stay connected better than we did once upon a time, and so we get to see a little bit of what's going on in each other's lives. But I want to take it upon myself to personally, reach out to these people, check in, say hi, make sure that they know I love them and they love me, and vice versa. As far as time off and travel, my big goals in general is I always try to do one big out of state trip. And so this particular year, I'm hoping it's going to be New York. I've never been to New York. I would love to go play tourist on the East Coast to see the Statue of Liberty, Times Square, all that fun stuff. We'll see if the 2026 allows me to do that. And then I always try to do three smaller trips throughout the year: desert, river, camping, family and friends, things like that. As far as personal growth and financial growth, I just want to stay consistent. Be consistent on many different fronts of my life. And so I don't have specific goals for those. I feel like I have a good work life balance, and so I just want to stay consistent in all of that. What boundaries must I set in 2026 to protect your personal goals? And so I checked the saying no more often. And so I am a big people pleaser, and not just because it's in my nature, but because I love it. I love saying yes to everyone and everything. I love camping. I love birthday parties. I love sing-alongs. I love, being with people. I love being away from people. I love it all. And so, but because of that, every day of my life is jam-packed with one thing or another. And so I'm definitely not complaining about it, because I'd rather be busy than not busy in most life. But I am going to try to set a boundary this year of just saying no a little more often in order for me to focus on some of the goals that we're going to be writing down today. Um, as far as my vision and business direction, why 2026 matters to me, as far as I'm concerned, every year matters. And so as I get older and more experienced in my life, I've learned that time is flying. Just, yeah, I don't know, especially with kids, as I see them grow, my family and friends, and watching their kids grow, and just seeing how everybody is having their own individual life. I know every year matters to me, and so 2026 is definitely no different. As far as work goes, as much as I work now, I don't want to work that hard in the future. So these are the years that I need to be stepping up, making certain things happen, so that way in my later years, I'm not having to do it. As far as my personal life, I am aware that as my kids are growing, this is my last 4 or 5 years that my kids will probably want to even be around me or talk to me, because they are having their own lives, their own friends. I'm basically their chauffeur most days a week right now. And we're still at the phase where they listen and love me at the moment, but I know that their lives are going to get just as busy coming up soon. So these next 4 or 5 years, I'm really going to be soaking in as much as I can as far as that relationship as well too. Um, so at the bottom of this page is your ideal work schedule for the end of 2026. So that's what we go on to the next page. So you can fill out how many days you want to work per week, hours per day, evenings, weekends, weeks of vacation. business goals of production you wish you want to have. And so, how many units closed, how many gross uh, uh, total volume, average price point, and then your business growth focus to choose, one of these in particular. Like, which one am I really going to hammer down on this year? Am I really going to hammer down on listings, on buyers, on my sphere of influence? Like, I just have to get better at reaching out to my past clients or my family friends and just making sure that people are referring me. Am I really going to double down on open houses this year and give myself an opportunity to meet buyers, to meet people who are looking for homes and help them get keys? Am I going to work on my digital assets or leads, creating my Facebook? I'm going to grow my team. I'm going to get more into luxury real estate. What is your main growth focus going to be on the business side of things? And so go ahead and fill that out. I'll just wait another minute or so, give you a chance. I feel like we need the Jeopardy music playing in between. Do 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 do. And there we go. All right, I'm going to go on to my next page. All right, so I am, as far as days work a week, hours per hour, evenings, things like that, I know that in order to keep my production where it is, I have to work 50 hours a week total. And so my schedule is not necessarily a 9 to 5 type schedule. And so I usually start my day by 8 a.m. And right after I drop my kids to school, I'm in the office at 3 o'clock. When they get out of school, I pick them up, take them home, do our sports things, and by 7:30, most people know I'm back on my computer and working on other different types of clients stuff until at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. And so it's 5 days a week as far as the work week goes, and one weekend day a week is for sure a requirement of what it takes in order to be as consistent as I have been these last few years. Real estate, we have the benefit of being able to kind of set our schedule sometimes and choose and pick what we're going to be doing. But I know in order to be productive, I need to be putting in my 50 hours. I need to put in work all week long in general. Those hours may vary. And I know it's one weekend a week that I have to, do an open house, do showings, whatever else it may be in order to hit those goals. As far as weeks of vacation, I would love to say I take weeks of vacation at a time. I never have quite that opportunity. Even when I go on vacation, I usually take my laptop because I'm clacking away at one thing or another. But I am king of the 3-day weekend, I tell people. And so when holiday weekends where we get an extra day or something, there is often times those are my opportunities to go and kind of take those little mini trips. As far as production goals at units closed, gross commission, all that stuff, I want to be 10% better than where I was last year. And so I did 22 transactions last year on the real estate side. I want to do at least 25 this year, and so I did 5 million. I want to do 6 million this year. As far as and if I do 6 million, then my gross commission is going to go up. My average price point, I hopefully will go up. So 10% across the board from what I did in 2025 is what my goal is for 2026. Business growth and focus. You're supposed to choose just one. I couldn't choose just one. I want to get better at all these. And so this year, I'm going to be working on a better listing presentation. This year for my buyers, I'm going to be working on a lot more videos. I'm set a goal for myself to reach out to more of my past clients. I do have systems and things like that also reaches out to them on my behalf, but I want to be taking it an extra step and reaching out to them on a more personable level. I want to get better with my online marketing. I want to get better with my team growth, and with you guys here, we're going to continue to do that. And so, and just through all doing those things, I believe my luxury and or higher price point niche will come up. And so, We're going to go on to the next page. All right. What do you want your top lead sources to be for 2026? And so whether that is your sphere of influence and or past clients, whether it is open house leads that you want to build on, whether it is your internet or technological leads that you want to build on, what do you want your top 3 lead sources to be? I had an old broker who was he was an attorney. He was a really smart guy. His name is Arturo Zapata. And he said that there are so many things for us to be able to do in real estate that, I mean, from that you just need to kind of pick your top 3 and get good at just those. And so if you get good at just 3 types of marketing, whether it's door knocking, cold calling, open houses, whatever it may be, if master that, figure out where you get better numbers, get auto dialers, get better farming for your door knocking, set up more advertisement for your open houses, just continue to improve on those top 3 sources of business. And there's plenty of business out in the market for you. New conversations, appointments, and then system skills and support, things that you want to improve on in 2026. So fill those out real fast, and then I'll share mine. All right. So my top 3 lead sources for 2026. One is going to be my sphere of influence, my past clients. So I looked at my numbers. 50% of my last year's business came from that, and so I'm hoping to do it again, another 50%. And I'm hoping 25% come from my open houses, and I'm hoping the other 25 come from my internet leads and online marketing sources that exist out there. So my top 3 that I'm going to be focusing on, again, is sphere of influence, open houses. They've been a bread and butter of mine my entire career, and also just improve my internet game across the board. And so I'm hoping not to be dancing in too many videos, but you may catch me in some dancing videos this year. Whatever it takes to get a deal done, I'll make it happen. So um, as far as weekly goals, I want to have 50 conversations a week. I feel like I have 50 conversations in a day sometimes. And so in a week, I think I can knock that out no problem. 50 follow ups as far as through my sphere of influence. And I would like to set 4 appointments a week and have 4 appointments attended. And so, and so that's what you have to do in order to kind of stay consistent. Prospecting and marketing hours, meaning actual dialing for dollars, I'm hoping for 10 hours a week out of that. So not necessarily all in one day. And so usually it's 1 or 2 hours per day throughout the week is generally how I'm going to try to split up my schedule as we go. And so, but these are my weekly goals and things I'm trying to do. My skills, systems, and support that I want to improve on. I mentioned it before, my listing presentations. I definitely want to improve on that. My time management, I'd also would like to work on. Every year I set a goal of trying to start some time blocking. I haven't been able to fully commit to that, but I am hoping to just get better at my time management. And then my marketing and branding. Again, I know the world is going towards a digital world and digital assets, meaning phone number, name, and email address. And so I want to take those. I want to be able to market to those successfully and hopefully not be spam in my friends, families, and clients' emails and telephones. So. All right. What systems will you use to achieve your goals? And so, which ones do you want to build on or strengthen? What are some obstacles that could prevent you? So, this is where we're going to kind of, plan on what we're going to use in order to make ourselves better. And then, what are some things that are going to potentially be a road bump or a speed bump in your way? And so, I'll give you a few moments and go ahead and fill those out on your end. And so, normal big threats is, of course, life, family, um, other outside perspectives that could, just slow you down. And then personal commitment for 2026 and one business commitment for 2026 at the bottom there. All right. All right. I'm going to go on to mine. All right. So systems to build on or strengthen is my CRM, my follow-up system. So like I mentioned, I want to learn more about automation and the marketing automation at the bottom. So my CRM does 1,000 things by far as emails and market update reports and all these different types of things. What I use my CRM thing is generally 3 or 4 items. One, notes, client contact information, who to follow up with next. My CRM is a great tool for me, but I know that the CRM itself has so many follow-up systems built within it and marketing automation built right within it that I'm just not taking full advantage of it. And so I've kind of set a goal with me and my assistant to take a few more of those CRM classes in order to obtain my goals a little bit better. My biggest threats to my 2026 is spreading myself too thin in 2026. And so with life, with family, with agents and clients and everything else in between, and my ability not to say no and yes to everything, there are many times and days throughout the year that I just feel like I'm spreading myself too thin. So I'm going to try to take a step back. And my number 2, not take on too many outside responsibilities so I can maintain and focus on my goals that I'm writing down now in order to stay better. How will I handle them differently? I will work on prioritization and getting better at delegating. And so I have a few great agents, buyer's agents on my team, and my lovely assistant who I use for everything. And so, but I want to get better at prioritizing what needs to be done, and then also delegating and handing some stuff off in order to make things happen. And so, and then also just saying no more often. That's how I'm going to handle things differently. One of my personal commitments for 2026 is just to see more family. Like I said, my goal is to for at least 3, but I feel like 3 is going to turn into 10 that I haven't been able to see in person. So I'm going to see more family this year. As far as one of my business commitments for 2026, I am going to add more loan officer licenses for what I'm doing. So currently, right now, I'm licensed in the state of California throughout the entire state. I can do every type of loan, FHA, VA, conventional, whatever it may be. But I have a lot of clients who have moved to Arizona over the last couple of years who continue to contact me for one reason or another. And I have a lot of family in the state of Wisconsin who contact me as well too. And so even though I may not be able to help them on the real estate side, my goal is to expand my loan officer licenses into those other states in order for me to be able to help them. And so those are my commitments for 2026 is I'm going to get those additional licenses for sure. At the very bottom is I commit executing my plan or my 2026 plan with intention, discipline, and accountability. And at the very last page, you are signing to make the commitment to yourself. Okay, and so although I'm here to help you and help you grow and answer questions and give ideas or bounce ideas back and forth, the person who needs to physically sit down and do the work themselves, like I do myself, is you. And so I am hoping that when you sign this document and you are making the commitment to yourself, that you are, going to follow through with it a little bit more. That you're going to, motivate yourself. You're going to set time aside in order to make certain things happen. And so, go ahead and sign only if you are going to be committing to yourself. And so, All right. And so once you've signed, you've made the commitment to yourself. So these are some future classes that I'm going to be doing. So um, per my email I sent to the company at the beginning of the year, I'm going to be doing at least one of these Zoom trainings per month. And then, of course, Zooms whenever, I mean, at any point you need help, you can just call me. And if you have a hot client or have something that's live that you need some answers on, just call me and we'll set up a quick Zoom to do that. But these are classes I for sure have coming up this year. How to run comps and net sheets, some of the basic classes, social media marketing. So what I am personally doing on Facebook and Instagram, what I'm personally building on my YouTube, what I'm personally doing and videos and apps that kind of help me shoot some of those videos. I'm going to do an offers, tips, and strategies. So we're going to talk about the real estate purchase contract. We're going to talk about what is going to make your offer look better to your than the other guys in order to win in a tough market. And then last one will be whatever you want to know. And so I hope you guys like this class. I hope you guys like my future classes. And if there is something that you think you want to learn more about, please send me an email or give me a recommendation. I'd be happy to build a class around whatever that particular topic is and kind of expand onto it a little bit more. So these are definitely classes I'm going to be teaching. I'm definitely going to be offering to the agents, and hopefully you guys show up. If not, there will be a video at the end of what we learned that day, and hopefully just you guys can. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. And so if I'm doing something that's working for me, I'm going to share that with you guys. Just go ahead and copy it word for word, line by line. Of course, just change your name, your license number on those materials, and kind of go from there. And we don't need to invent the wheel. So this is my time for questions or comments. So the class is officially done. Thank you those for coming today. Anybody who would like to stay on and or ask questions or just chat, I'm here to do so. I'm going to probably stop the recording here unless anybody has a specific question. And, I'm just going to stay online until everybody officially signs off. But you guys have my contact information and my email. Reach out to me anytime. I'm always here for you guys, and I'll just kind of sit by and say goodbye to you guys. And so if you're leaving, good to see you, and hope to see you more in 2026. And look forward to chatting more, guys. And so.
Thank you. Great job, Jason.
Of course, Rich. Always happy to have you on. But
yeah. So it was.
Thanks, Jason. It was great.
So what are one of your goals you wrote down, Rich?
I'm hoping to do 3 to 5 deals. Basically, I'm going to just do a lot more with my CRM and my social media, and try to generate deals. I don't have a great expectation of 3 deals this year would make me happy right now, just to start off, because I'm going to 0 from last year. So yeah, just
well, let's try to knock out 1 or 2 by this quarter, right? You know what I mean? And so get this quarter done and make the other quarters better. And so
it would be nice. Yeah. So I am going to focus on I've been taking a lot of classes on the AI. So a lot of that AI automation you're talking about, I'm kind of diving into to try and generate the auto population of the Instagram and the Facebook. I think those are pretty good. I've seen some good examples of agents really taking advantage of the social media. So I'm going to try and automate that. I've actually considered a virtual assistant. I mean, I know some agents that have them, and they just take care of that, put it on autopilot. If that can generate 1 lead, it would be worth it.
So. Absolutely, and so this presentation I actually created with AI within Google now, and so I used Chat GPT to give me a lot of my topics and kind of build that worksheet that you guys are using now. They help me with all the images that are here. And so what would normally take me, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours to build, I think I got done in under an hour today. And so AI is, it's taken me a little bit to learn as well too, but it's definitely it's going to be a front runner of how we do business nowadays. So,
hey, on the family note, one of my goals was to see each of my kids at least once a month, maybe go golfing. And so that includes you too. So I'm going to get you out there golfing with me at least once a month, right?
I will. Well, I'm going to take one of these times where I have to say no. You know what I mean? But once a quarter, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I think
all right. I'll hold you to it.
More realistic for me.
That's
and
fine.
so
I know you're a busy man. So
yeah.
once a quarter, I'll take.
Yeah.
All right.
I got to set my boundaries for 2026.
That's fair. That's a fair boundary. But I will hold you to once a quarter.
Anybody else, have a goal they want to share? Yeah.
Hey, Jason, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I think, basically setting the goal is pretty simple. Yes, Jeremy. And of course, I wanted more transactions this year. Yeah, that's easy to say, but setting smaller, easy, attainable goals is kind of what, me personally and me and Patricia are going to be doing this year. And one of which is just posting 3 videos a week on our social medias, which include not just videos, but videos of ourselves in front of the camera. And I know it's pretty tough, doing that, but people want to see your face. They want to see you. They want to, create that relationship, through the screen. It's all, anybody you've been following for a while, it's almost like you kind of know them. Like you go up to them and just say, it's like I've known you for a while. And it's like if you could build that relationship through social media, through the video, then I think that's achieving a lot right there.
So I didn't go into it, but in the next 30 days, I have set a script, and I'm going to be shooting a video. So I do a lot of technological marketing, and so I get a lot of leads, people I've never met. Some come as referrals from Sphere of Influence, and so when they come from that way, of course, you have a direct connection with them. But these people who click on my ads and they click on various different websites in order to get to me, I want to create a video that once they've clicked anything that allows me to capture their information, that they get an instant YouTube video it's just a 1 to 2 minute video introducing myself, letting them see me, letting them see some of the things that I'm doing. I'm a family man, a hard worker, all these different types of things. So just for that reason, just so when we actually get to the point where we're meeting in person, they already feel more comfortable and like they know me a little bit more. And so, I've set I'm this next 2 weeks, because it's after January, I'm going to be doing all the company, tax stuff and corporate stuff on the back end. But right after that, my very first thing was a video that will be going out to all of my, second a lead comes in, they get that video, and I think it'll just give me a better stepping stone immediately for my follow-ups afterwards. So that's a good goal though. More videos and yeah, everybody, with videos, everybody always strives for perfection. And so I talk to a lot of agents who ultimately don't post something, or they don't want to record because they don't think it looks good or professional or whatever else it may be. And so don't hesitate is what I would recommend. Capture it, shoot it.
I think you're your own biggest critic.
Absolutely, 100%. You think you look weird or funny or whatever else, nobody else notices that. And so continue to, you can continue to improve on the next one beyond that, but just sit down and do it, and no regrets moving forward. So good goal, Jeremy. So
thank you.
Hey, Jason, it's Patricia.
Hey.
So I know that you mentioned one of your goals was to more on the education side. And so that is also something that Jeremy and I have talked about, even making it a point to attend this, just making time out of our day. But there's just so many resources, and we get those emails all the time uh, from the CAR, like webinars or in person. And so that is something that Jeremy and I have talked about, is just being more intentional about at least attending one once a month, or sitting down and rewatching a recorded one, because those tools are available for a reason. And I mean, we're paying our dues every quarter for them. So if they're not being used, it's almost like you're just throwing pennies into an empty well and not taking advantage of it. So I do like that you mentioned that goal, because that is something that we talked about when we were planning earlier this month, is and then same with open houses. So I know that we have people kind of scattered around our team throughout the area, but even just making those connections, and on the opposite end, not being a, like, being more of a yes person on the side of doing open houses, and not being like, well, what if it's slow and I waste my time, and it's like you don't really know what's going to the outcome of it. So I know we tend to sometimes want to not make excuses, but we fill our weekends full of different things. And so just maybe being more intentional of setting like realistic goals, such as maybe doing 3 open houses a weekend, or contacting you. And if it feels dry for us, maybe of a lead that, or a agent that's needing some help. So those are just 2 main ones that kind of stuck out from yours that matched ours that we had talked about.
Awesome, awesome, and right. A realistic goal is, is one a month, and so I mean, I know last year I did 18 open houses, and so I'm a little bit more than one a month, is what I personally did throughout the year. And so but one a month is a great goal to have. And as far as ranges of open houses, 1 to 3, depending on the times, and 1 to 3 is a slow open house. Anywhere from 3 to 6 is what I would consider a good, normal, average open house. And if you get 6 or more, you had a great open house. You had somebody in there ideally every 10 to 15 minutes, talking to them, making a connection, hopefully converting them. And so if so yes, I absolutely can find you an open house. If you don't like, if it's not one of my personal listings that you're working, which I know you and Jeremy have worked my listings before, but there's definitely agents within the office that have listings. I'm personally teaming up with another agent in the office this weekend on a listing he just got in Yucaipa. So I'll be there this weekend doing an open house as well too. And so maybe, I know he's doing it Saturday and Sunday, but maybe the following week, if it isn't sold, you can help him on that front. It's a beautiful, beautiful home. So I think it's going to be a busy weekend. And I think we've kind of discussed, I have strategies of how I locate my open houses. If I'm not working my own personal listing, then I have strategies of how to hopefully maximize the foot traffic that comes through the door on your open houses, as far as being selective. Everybody would, of course, love to work only within a 1 mile radius of their home. The realistic picture is there's not enough business within just 1 mile radius of your home, as much as you would love to be that particular local expert. And so I will drive, and so like, all right, this one's in Yucaipa, I will drive up to 30 to 45 minutes away in order to work open houses that I think are going to have slightly better success than something that might have been closer, local, easier. We as just people always, and not just agents, but just as people, would prefer to go with what's easy. it's easy, it's faster, it's we gravitate that towards that direction. And so we need to kind of change our mindset and focus of, hey, it's not easier, but is this going to give me more success? And then test it and try it and kind of let it go. And if you don't get the results you're looking for on the first time, that's not a true measure. One time is not a true measure of success. And so throughout the year, I generally pay for a lot of online leads, marketing. I get calls every day for different websites or sphere of influence solutions or trackers or things like that. And so I probably sign up for one or two of them randomly per year, whichever one I think could I can incorporate into my business, and I try it for at least 6 months. And so some of those things I've spent a lot of money on that didn't turn into anything. Some of them have turned into 2 deals. Some of them have turned into 20 deals. And so, but one time, 1 month is not enough to really give it a fair shot in this industry. And so, it takes roughly whatever plan you're implementing 6 months before you start to hopefully be able to measure whether or not it's been successful for you or not. So just know it takes time as you're, growing whatever it is the next marketing plan is going to be. So good goals. All right, who else is on here? Let's see, view everyone. All right, I think that's it. So I am going to end the meeting officially. I do appreciate you guys taking time, and I know you guys are busy. I know life is that way, and so hopefully we'll see each other more and more of these videos. Look forward to chatting throughout the year, guys. Call me anytime. Bye.